What is going on, guys? Welcome into today's video. This is Strength Daily. Before I give my full Christian review, my full statement on what happened yesterday, we're going to watch this video together, the full video. So without further ado, let's jump right in.
It's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
This was so scary. This was so scary.
Let me get my shoes.
I got you, sir.
Let me get my shoes on.
Hold on, your head is bloody.
So we got to move to the bus. Let me get my shoes.
Okay, my shoes down.
Watch out.
Fight. What took place yesterday, I will never forget. Where I was at in the time. Me and my mom was at the grocery store and we heard people talking about a shooting. We thought it was something that had happened in our town. A few moments later, found out it was our former president, Donald Trump, had been shot. And we didn't know the further details at that moment. For all we knew is that he'd been shot and killed. And my heart sunk to the ground, guys. I mean, there was tears in my eyes and I was literally trembling. And we rushed home. We're calling my dad. Everybody's texting each other. It was chaos. The whole nation was in chaos yesterday. But meanwhile, while we was all in chaos, God's hand of protection was on Donald Trump yesterday. And we, first and foremost, before I continue, we got to give God the praise, honor, and glory. Because of him, Donald Trump is still alive today. Because of him, there's still hope in the United States that we still can turn this thing around and turn back to God. That is some good news that we all need today. That is encouragement, friends. On my podcast yesterday that come out, I was having technical difficulties and it was supposed to come out Friday like usual, but God had it come out yesterday. And it was literally talking about Christians dealing with sickness and being in God's protection program. Well, let me tell you, friends, Donald Trump is in God's protection program because of all the millions of Christians that's been praying for him and God's hand of protection upon him. I truly believe God heard those prayers and kept him safe. Praise be to God. What that proved yesterday was God's hand of protection is still upon the United States. As we all know, when 9/11 happened, God's hand of protection was taken off this country. And since then, we have truly been at this downward spiral continuously. But praise be to God. He said in the end days there would be this revival in him. And I don't know if y'all heard, but in California, record-breaking in a Jesus movement through California have been baptized and saved. Praise be to God. Jesus is still on the throne. And what yesterday proved, guys, is that God's hand of protection is still on the United States. Because without that, if Donald Trump had been shot and killed, friends, I'm not saying it was over, but for the most part, it was over for us. And God knew that. And he said, not today, Satan, not today. Let's give God the praise, honor, and glory. And I got a few verses here that I wanted to read to you guys. And while I'm pulling it up, I wanted to say this. When God calls you to a task and you obey him and you walk into that task like Donald Trump's doing, he literally has said it how many times? I don't have to be here. I'm a billionaire. I could be on my private island. I'm 78 years old. I don't have to run for the presidency. I don't have to run for president. But yet, he's not just doing it for himself. He's not just doing it for us, but he's doing it for his kids, generations to come. But the good news of today is that God's hand of protection is still upon our nation. Let me read this right quick. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 27. All the forces of darkness cannot stop what God has ordained. all the forces of darkness, devil and all his fiery darts, and that bullet that was sent right at Trump's head cannot stop what God has ordained, and he has ordained Donald Trump. When George Washington was sworn into this nation, I'm paraphrasing, this is his exact words. I don't have them pulled up, but he dedicated our land, the United States of America, to God. And he basically, again, I'm paraphrasing, but said, as long as we will serve the Lord our God and this nation will stay true to the Lord, it will prosper and it will always be blessed. But the moment that we stop serving God, that we put God on the back burner and he's no longer this nation's focus, is the moment, just like all the civilizations in the Bible and all the countries before that have failed and died miserably. Whether you are a Christian or not, we all can agree on that. It was an evil act. The devil knows what's going to happen if the Lord allows him to win. The devil knows what is going to happen, folks, to this nation, that we might possibly get back on track. And he wants it to keep going in this downward spiral. But God has bigger plans. I truly believe that. He showed it yesterday. Donald Trump should be dead today. The news headline should have read, Donald J. Trump, former 45th President of the United States, dies at the age of 78, shot in the head in Pennsylvania at a rally. But praise be to God, the news articles and everything we've read says Donald Trump was shot, but he's still alive. He just had to get a few stitches. God did that. You see, when we answer the task that God has called us into, there's nobody that can harm you or hurt you. Your enemies will fear you, and right now they fear Donald Trump. Let me tell you why. If they didn't fear him, they wouldn't be trying to kill him. If they're like, well, we could beat him just straight up, then they wouldn't be doing this, right? I mean, it is so obvious that the enemy, the devil, fears Donald Trump because he knows what's around the corner. He knows that it's very possible that if he's alive and that he wins, oh man, that this nation could possibly be back on track again and looking for God once again and putting him first in our nation. I thought I was serious before, and I thought, I'd prayed for our nation, prayed for Donald Trump, but guys, I'll be the first to admit I wasn't praying like I should have been. It's time to step up, guys. It's time to put on what the Bible tells us to do and put on the full armor of God. Are we ready? Are we ready to stand up for God? Trump, his last words could have been, he didn't know how severe, I don't think it was at that moment, whether it was worse or not, but his last words, had he died, was fight, fight, fight. That's what God is calling us Christians to do. We are to stand up. We are to pray harder. You might say, the only thing I can do is pray. Friends, that's the best thing you can do is pray. One man once said, if all you can do is pray, well, that's the best thing that you can do. I'm fired up for God. I'm fired up for Donald Trump. I'm fired up for our nation as a whole, and just knowing that God's hand of protection is still upon us. That is an encouragement today that we all need to hear, and some good news. Praise be to God. May we pray harder. May we pray more for Donald Trump and his family and God's hedge of protection over them, our nation, over us, our families, our communities, all of it. This picture right here that just showed up on the screen is talking about David, and then now obviously what happened to Trump yesterday. But if God can guide a stone, that one slingshot stone that David slung and killed the Philistines' greatest champion right in the forehead and killed him with one, the same God can redirect a bullet. And Jesus did that yesterday. God allowed that bullet to not kill Donald Trump, our former president. I just want to give God the praise, honor, and glory today. So this is just my Christian review on all what has happened. May we continue to stand firm for Jesus. May we continue to pray and even step it up another notch. He's calling us into a task, friends. What is he calling you into today? Maybe you are sick. Maybe you are disabled, whatever it may be, and you're like, I can't go out and actually do anything physically. All I can do is pray. Once again, that is the best thing you can do. And may we all be on our knees and praying for this nation, praying that we would turn back to God, one nation under God. Let's give God the praise, honor, and glory today for what he did for Donald Trump yesterday in our nation and all of us in the generations to come. And if it's his will, he can continue to protect Donald Trump, and he could win this fall that we could get this nation back on track and once again back for Jesus Christ. Trump 2024, baby. Let's go. Let's all jump on that Trump train. God bless you guys. I hope you all have a great day, great week. Once again, if you are new here, consider subscribing, liking today's video, share this with friends, whether they are Christians, whether they are not. Once again, this is just my opinion on it, but praise be to God for all he has done. Hope you all have a great day, a great upcoming week, and let's see what happens in the days to come, weeks and months to the election, and just pray God's protection over this nation and Donald Trump. Love you guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Later.